properly storing your fruits and vegetables, meats and dairy, everything pretty much in your refrigerator can extend the life of your food.
It's true. So we're back with personal chef Bill Collins from chefbill.com. We've come inside for a little bit to discuss something that's very important.
Yes, the foods that you bring home, whether it be from the supermarket or from a farm stand or even from your backyard, or if you're growing them in pots on your deck, how do you take care of it so it'll last as long as possible? Get your money's worth, get your time and effort's worth. And that's what we're doing here today. One of the things, I don't know if the camera can pick this up, is you've got, it looks like just a clear bowl of water with a little cilantro on the top and dirt on the bottom. And so what happens is you bring home greens or you have lettuce and maybe you just might rinse it off and you go to bite into it and you get grit in your teeth.
Oh, yes. That's happened to me.
And especially, you're growing lettuce, you get lettuce, and if it's coming from a farm and not the supermarket, there still could be a little or a lot of dirt on it.
So we soak it.
Yes, you soak it in water, but you're not just soaking it. I mean, you get a big bowl, or you really scour out your sink. You know, say in the case of Ashley, where she gets a whole bunch of lettuce from her mom, then
Yes.
what do you do with it, and how do you clean it all? Clean your sink, or get a big bowl, break apart the lettuce. You don't even have to tear it up, and cover it with water. Let it sit for a few minutes. And what's going to happen is, as you pull this apart, and this is a really good example of this, is you see how much dirt is in here. You even see some dirt floating.
So I've been eating that for years.
Yes, and not that it's not good for you, but you don't have to. Now here's the thing, common sense might say to you, we'll just pour it out and then ready to put it in a salad spinner. If you're pouring it out, see, dirt sinks. It weighs more than the lettuce and the water, so it's be in the bottom. If you just pour it out, you're pouring the dirt back over the lettuce. So what you want to scoop it out like I did, put it in another bowl, and if there's a lot of dirt, soak it again. And keep doing that. Like for instance, with this cilantro, I would soak that again. You know, just put it, I usually just put it head first in the water like that until it comes out clear.
So that was in a supermarket bought bunch of cilantro?
Yes, that was supermarket bought. And this came actually from a farm. So that way you can see how much dirt is in there.
Clean your veggies.
Clean your veggies.
Wish I knew that 20 years ago.
So that's how you want to do it. Dirt isn't bad for you, but it's better not to have it.
Yes.
So that's what you want to do with the greens. And then put them in a salad spinner, or if you even put them away damp, a little bit damp, or the damp piece of paper towel in a loose plastic bag. Don't have to tie it up tightly. It'll stay fine in the fridge and it'll stay nice and crisp. So that's how you can also not only get it to the fridge, but keep it in the fridge as well.
So you don't need a salad spinner, but that's if you have one, you can get all the water off of it. Right?
Yes, and that's the thing, because then you can end up with a waterlogged salad. Either dry it with a towel, but a salad spinner, you buy one of these once. It will last forever, unless somebody takes it for another project around the house. But like you're tie-dyeing and you spin everything around.
Oh, that's true.
So this way, though, that's the best way to dry it, and it's something, it might cost $20, $25, if that much, but it will last forever.
Now let's talk about the rest of the fruits and veggies while we're here. What do we have?
We've got tomatoes. These aren't in season yet, but once the local tomatoes come in, it's going to be great.
Amazing.
But especially when you bring them home from the supermarket, a lot of people just toss them in the fridge. Do not put your tomatoes in the refrigerator. They both firm up. They won't continue to ripen, but also the flavor, it does dull the flavor. So once you cut into it, refrigerate it. But let them sit out and they'll be fine. Avocado, if you bring one home, if it's perfectly soft and ready to be eaten, keep it in the fridge for a day or so till you eat it. If it's not, this will continue to ripen. And it's the same thing with so many of the other fruits. You've got
Mangoes,
mango.
kiwis, the ones with the hard outsides.
Exactly. So, but now when you want to get back to other foods like meats, and dairy, when you go to the supermarket, almost everybody now puts it in a Ziploc type bag like this. And that's great, and that will keep your cheese nice and sealed up. However, a couple of things happen. One, very often when you go to peel the label, it tears a hole in it. If that happens, you want to make sure it does get sealed up. Another thing that happens, especially if, I don't know, there might be a child roaming through your house, they take a piece of the food and they throw it back in like that. You have to be careful of that because the cheese will dry out. Be careful of that. Another thing is aluminum foil. You have some cooked chicken, you go to wrap it up and it doesn't quite seal. You go, oh, the heck with it, that's fine. Not so much, because that will dry out. Similarly, I set aside some of the hamburger that we are making today. When you put it in the refrigerator, if you're not going to use it all, cover it up with plastic wrap. And again, it's very easy not to seal it up completely or just put some foil over the top. It won't last as long in the fridge, but also it starts to dry out. Just because it's cold in the refrigerator does not mean that that's exactly what you need to take care of it. Now, I also brought some strawberries, which I left off camera, but it's the same thing. When you see the strawberries sitting out either at the farm stand or the market, they may or may not be in a cool area. If you do bring them home, they can sit out on the counter for maybe a day. Put them in the fridge, but put them in a loose plastic bag. Don't have to seal it up, and that will keep the harshness of all the cold getting to them. Another piece of this is your refrigerator. Refrigerators have cold and not as cold spots in them. Up at the very top of the fridge is the coldest. So you have something delicate like ripe peaches or strawberries. If you put them up at the very top, they're going to get damaged by too much cold. You also have your crispers down below in the fridge. Use those to keep the fruits and vegetables separated. That also keeps them from being hit so hard with the cold. So you've got all these options on how to store your food. And just because it's a vegetable or fruit does not mean it has to go into the fridge, but keep an eye on it. Once you cut into it, it does. So we've got this personal watermelon, and you can cut into it and then refrigerate it. But otherwise, this is fine just sitting out.
Perfect.
Well,
is that enough information?
I have to say, that is so much information, and now my food is going to last a whole lot longer.
It's going to last all summer.
Chef Bill?
Which is weird, but it's going to be great.
It is perfect.
Thank you.